All right, welcome into Tunes Brothers. We've got Darren, Louie, Dave, Scotty. Darren, what are we doing tonight?
Tonight we have the studio album Animalize from some of our favorite bands, Kiss. This is the only album, if I am not mistaken, that has Mark St. John, who is in his own right, quite a talented guitarist. Some blistering riffs on this album. I guess like I said, not being a Kiss historian, I'm not sure what the reasoning behind his short-lived tenure with the band was.
Arthritis in his hand.
Oh, gotcha. All right. So that is what we have on tap tonight. We will be doing our ranking of that particular album.
All right. How was it for you, Louie?
Hey, overall it was pretty cool. I'm surprised that a song that I always put at my least favorite landed at number 7. And I'm sure number 9 will anger some people, particularly one person. And number 8 might anger somebody else because I placed it at number 8. But that's just too bad. I have to do this my way, my opinion, my feeling. And today I just happened to watch a Bruce Kulick video where he's talking about a little more detail on how he got involved with Kiss.
I just saw that.
And their guitarist. It was pretty good. I was fearful to click on it because I was hesitant. I was hesitant to click on it because I was fearful it was going to be one of those AI-generated bullshit things.
Yeah, I hate that.
Because, saying things that either a person said partially or never said at all. Like those, like all those videos. This famous person hated these other bands, and I hate those videos. So I watched one, and I never watched another one ever since. And so it's going to be kind of a fun ride tonight with everybody, with people of sound effects power, gonging me, buzzing me, dinging me, punching me, and what you said,
and
stupidest thing I ever heard, and everyone is less intelligent for what you just said. I'm going to catch a lot of that tonight.
All right, Dave.
Well, at least he knows he's going to get it. My Way's not on this album, by the way.
Yeah, that's
it's on another album. It's
coming up. Oh, God, pun. Oh.
This for me, I think when it came out, I was always a bit iffy with it anyway. I'm not a big fan of the way Mark St. John plays on this album, to be honest. And I think it would have been better if Paul had done most of the songs as well, because I think he's definitely the stronger on this album. So it's probably a 50-50 album for me.
Okay.
Don't think there'll be any surprises at the top, though.
Well, as a big, I guess, begrudgeful attitude over this album for freaking decades, man. I really have given this album shit for years. A few good songs and the rest shit is what I always label it as. But it's not. I mean, literally, this is one heavy metal fucking album right here, bro. I mean, how many people literally turn this sumbitch up and listen to the musicianship on this damn album? These guys are tight. They are on point. Now, I will say, some of the lyrics, are shit and cheesy, of course. That's just the way it is. Gene was our halftime not. But they're not bad. Listening to it again, there's not a damn thing on here I'd skip. Literally for the musicianship, the sound of this album is fucking spectacular. I know Rob said something about it being low one time.
Yeah,
I can't hear it. I can't hear it. I'm trying to. I can't find it. It is freaking in your face. It sounds so. This album right here is a knockoff of Creatures and Link It Up. That's what it was supposed to be anyway. But when you have a unplanned change in lead guitar You got a totally different sound on this album because the lead guitar usually and rhythm projects the sound of the album anyway. Your drums are very good. The bass is very good. The rhythm's good. The lead is totally different, but I love it. Mark St. John's a shredder from hell. I mean, literally, he's all over the place, but it sounds good. It's almost like Vinnie Vincent, not being tempered down. I mean, he is all over the place, but it sounds good to me. And I've ridiculed this album for decades, man. I think it's a damn solid album. I think that Kiss done the wrong thing. They made one video. Yeah, you could say Thrills in the Night, but it's a live video. It's something I think they just threw together, throw it on MTV, blah, 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 whatever. I don't think this album was marketed enough, to be honest with you. And one more thing. I think Kiss was dabbling into speed metal at the time. A song, an album. I'm Alive, Give Me More, and on here, Under the Gun. I literally think they were jabbing at that heavy, fast stuff, man. I mean, look at those songs and how fast they are, man. Hell, Paul couldn't even hardly sing it live. He done a good job, but damn. But anyway, good album, solid album, an album that don't get the credit it deserves, except for a couple songs. And I found this listening experience absolutely fantastic. That's all I've listened to since we done Look It Up. That's all I've listened to. Back to back. So, Rob.
Yeah, like Scott, I'd always, I thought it was an okay album that had a handful of really good songs. This was fucking fantastic the last 2 days. I've never enjoyed this album so much. I don't know what's changed. When I say it's quiet, Scott, I'm referring to audibly. If you had two record players, cassette players, CD players playing the identical, one playing this, one playing Lick It Up, you're going to have to turn Animalize up louder to meet that volume. That's what I mean by lower mix.
Yeah.
But production-wise, it's fine as far as how everything was mixed. It just could have been louder. Fucking fantastic. Some songs on here that I really almost hated, I enjoyed. A couple of songs that I thought were just okay, I think are good songs now. I don't know what's going on. And it hadn't been that long since we did this last time, but man, it hit well this time.
Yeah, it is, Rob.
Darren, we never got your overall vibe.
Just to say, Rob, I think because I made you listen to 10,000 Volts is why you think this is better.
Probably.
I basically, far be it for me to shit on a Kiss album, right? I mean, that's not what I'm here to do. But for me, this is just wonderfully mediocre.
It's,
don't get me wrong, because the songs are energetic. They're hard rocking, right? I mean, Scott said it. It's a hard rocking album, right? I mean, there are a couple of mid-tempo, but for the most part, these are some good hard rock songs. But most of Gene's songs, in my opinion, are forgettable, mediocre. Shit. I think they're poorly written. And I think that's definitely shows that he just his absenteeism, right? That he was more focused on working with other bands, making movies, and just being absent altogether. And I think that really shows in his contributions. And I think that overall just really brings this album down. But that doesn't take away from a couple of songs that I still think are good. But overall, like I said, it's not a poor listen because it's not like listening to Van Halen where you're getting experimental shit. I mean, it's still rock. It's just, like I said, once I've listened to it, half the songs or more, I could just forget and move on and really just come back to the two or three that I have saved in my playlist.
All right, fair enough.
Can I just say, Scotty, do you leave these podcasts with bruises all over your body from all the jabs that people take at you?
Sometimes I'm a little sore, yeah.
Okay, well, then it's up to you, Darren, to start us off with your number 9.
All
I
right.
bet it's a Gene song.
Actually, at number 9, I have Under the Gun. I think this is Kiss's attempt at thrash. I think Paul has good vocals. Eric has, great drums on here. But I just don't like the speed of this song. Like I said, that just does not work for me for a Kiss song.
You should hear it live if you don't like the speed of this song. It's even faster.
Yeah.
So that's what turned me off the most about that. Just the overall speed. Like I said, it still has good vocals. So there's parts of it that are still good. Like I said, I'm not here to shit on it. We'll still look at what is salvageable or what is good. Because like I said, these aren't horrible songs. They're just, in my opinion, just stuff that I wouldn't go back to.
All right, Louie.
Well, when I first got the Animalize album and all that, Under the Gun was probably my least favorite because I thought it was a knockoff of Love Gun. But I don't feel that way about that song anymore, and I'll talk about that song later. But a song I used to like, but this time around, the vocal chorus was way overdone. The verse melody is just kind of sporadic and doesn't make any sense as far as being a nice kind of melody. And I think the song is probably overrated, but it fell at number 9, Thrills in the Night.
Okay. Dave.
Why do I have to follow him?
To bring sanity back to the show?
I think my biggest problem with Kiss at this time was just the constant change. Like, obviously we didn't have internet, so, you listen to an album, all of a sudden you think, who's this guitarist? Why have we got a different guitarist? And the next album's another guitarist. And it's like, can we just have some, stability here, please?
Unity.
But in saying that, I think the worst songs on here are from a guy who's been here a long time. So my number 9 is Lonely is the Hunter. I'm not going to shit on anything too much. I just find the song really boring. Hate the chorus. So okay. I'll give it a C.
Dave, in the giving mood. Scotty.
All right. Well, ring the bell. Me and Down Under don't match up that much, but we are on this one because this is a song that's how this album's changed for me, man. I like this song. I like everything on here now, man. To a certain degree. There's certain parts that, the chorus on Lonely as a Hunter is a drag. It sounds like Gene singing it drunk. It is slow, but the beat, the lead is insane on this fucking song, dude. The leads on this whole fucking album are superior, bro. Literally that good, man. And let's not forget, Bruce Kulick plays 1 or 2 leads on this fucking album. You can hear the guitar tone change too. Yeah. I think that's one of them, Lonely as a Hunter. I think that's his lead in this damn song.
It is, yes.
Hell yeah, man. But the outside of the dragging lyrics, the songs, the musician structure of this song is fucking fantastic. But the lyrics will take it down, sometimes. And Gene being slack at the time, of course, that's what, the result is. So, number 9, Lonely as a Hunter, but not bad.
Okay. My number 9 has pretty much been my number 9 from the day it came out. But I found it more enjoyable today. That is Murder in High Heels. I've gotten past the stupid murder, part of it and just enjoy the song for what it is. And it's not bad. I agree with Darren that most, a couple of the Gene tracks at least were mailed in. but still pretty decent songs. You know, as Kiss album goes, you could easily say some of these suck, but that's because a lot of their albums have really great songs on it. But overall, I wouldn't skip anything on this album anymore. And I used to skip half of it. So that's where she goes. Murder in High Heels, number 9.
All right. Well, that was my number 8, Murder in High Heels. My notes, I have good guitar work. It's kind of funky, but in my opinion, it's a very poor closer. I don't think that is a good song to end the album on. I think it definitely wouldn't have been a good one to start the album with either, but I don't think that was a good choice to end it with. But again, I don't think it's a bad song, and I didn't say I would skip anything. It's just something I wouldn't come back to. If I had to sit and listen to this album, I would, except for probably Under the Gun. I might skip that. I don't care for thrash, and to me, not the vocals, right? I mean, he's not puking on the mic, but just the speed of that just didn't do anything for me. But Murder in High Heels was number 8. Lewis?
Thank you. Number 8 for me, the song itself is really good. Unfortunately, it's the delivery that brings it way down to number 8. Because two things, you could probably guess what the song is by my description. Number 1, the chorus is way too heavily layered, sounding like too many people involved in it. Like they dubbed their voices to make them sound like 24 people or something. And Paul's singing it way too high. Get All You Can Take. That song could have been much better if those facts. You.
Oh, okay.
I'll let Money Pit.
Louis, sorry. You know, I wouldn't even have played it, but you had your whole little ramble in the beginning of how we were going to play all these sound effects. So
You was asking for that one, Louis.
I guess I was. I didn't know I get video clips too. I just had sound effects.
Dave.
Now I've got to follow that. So I'm reevaluating. So Lonely is the Hunter's C minus. So I'll give my next song a C, which is Murder in High Heels.
Okay.
I'll say no more about it than that because I don't want to shit on Gene.
So you matched with Darren then, Murder in High Heels?
Did you have Murder in High Heels, Darren?
I did.
Did you guys hear that bell? Because it's awful weird sounding.
Yeah, I heard it.
Okay.
Fine and dandy.
Okay.
Not as well as Tom Hanks, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Scotty.
Number 8 for me, one off of Darren is Under the Gun. But let's not forget about this album here. Between Dynasty and this album, however many albums they were, 3, maybe 4. But anyway, this is when Kiss got back true to form when it comes to live performances. You know, Charlotte Coliseum was and people hanging out the rim of that son of a bitch, bro. I mean, it was sold out. The longest line I ever stood at that Coliseum. Literally. Monstrous line. General admission days too, man. So yeah, man, Creatures and Lick It Up did do a little bit of something because it got this tour here and MTV got them back to form. So, but Under the Gun, man. Yes, I love the speed of the song. Unlike Darren, I do love some thrash metal, and I love how Eric beats them damn drums, man. I mean, that is pure power right there. The sound is spectacular. They're on spot. It's Paul's vocals trying to get too high and too fast is what kills this song for me, but it didn't really kill it for me this time around because it fit. I mean, I didn't hate anything on here. the last few days. It all sounded really good. And it's basically, I'm nitpicking at things to put them in order.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm doing, except for a couple songs. But Under the Gun, yeah, live, wow. He pulled it off good, I will say, then. But he wasn't hitting every word either. You know, a lot of guys don't. So you don't expect that from a speed song like this. So, but yeah, man, fantastic music, man, and sound. I can't say enough of that about this album. So number 8, Under the Gun.
Number 8 for me, a couple of you I think have hit it already. What the hell? I already lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, Lonely is the Hunter. I love the guitar riff. I'm not talking leads. I just love the guitar riff through this thing. But again, this and Murder in High Heels are just a little too dragging for Gene, coming off of 2 albums like Creatures and Lick It Up, where he was screaming in your face. These just seem a little, but still, I enjoyed it more than I ever have. So, no hate.
All right. Well, Lonely is the Hunter is my number 7. So I have mid-tempo, boring, and lacks soul. That's what I have for that one. I think he just mailed this one in. Like you said, the guitar work, or like you said, Rob, the guitar work is good, right? And overall, I don't have any issues with the musicianship. I think there is a song coming up where I do have an issue with the presentation, not so much the vocals itself, but again, I know what to expect from a Kiss song, and I usually, or not a song, from an album. You usually know what you're gonna get. But like I said, overall, there was just, again, this was a time where the band was just outside the studio. They were just, or even in the studio, they weren't together. They weren't cohesive as a unit, and it showed up in this album, in my opinion. So 7 is Lonely is the Hunter. Lewis?
Yeah, Paul and Gene wasn't even in the same studio, man. Paul was not liking Gene at the time. They were in different studios doing this. That's why the guitarist St. John, he had to go work so much with Paul, and then he had to go work so much with Gene. And see, he wound up working with Peter after he was done in Kiss. And in Peter's book, that right there is one of the explanations of why his hands got messed up like they did, because they were bringing him back and forth for hours at a time. Now, I don't know, I'm not there or whatever, but them two not getting along and not even wanting to play in the same studio with each other, you can tell, there's trouble in paradise. So, right, Louis.
Number 7. Now, I picked this song to be a number 7 because even though it's a slow moving plot along song, there's no high pitched registered verse singing. There's no over emphasis on too many people in the chorus of the song, and that's why I moved up to number 7. I do like the part where it goes with that little bass thing, very similar to the song from The Elder, Only You, with that do. It's kind of the same kind of idea, and that's Lonely as the Hunter. I think the song is a lot better than a lot of people think it is. It's a comfortable song to listen to that doesn't irritate you.
Ring the bell, because that matched up with me.
Oh, sorry.
You two together again, are you?
Yep.
Well, thank God I'm not. Number 7 for me, I'll give Gene a C+ on this one. While the City Sleeps. It's a pretty good song. I think they repeat While the City Sleeps way too often, though. It just, how many times can you say the same things in one song? But it's okay. It's what is it? His second best song on this album. So his best song is the song I used to hate, but actually quite liked it this time listening to it, but we'll get to that one.
Scotty.
All right. Number 7 for me. Murder in High Heels. And this used to be up higher. It fell this time. It's the jam, man, on this. I love how it starts. You know, if anybody questions the musicianship of Kiss, tell them to play this album. Tell them to play anything on this damn album. Dude, they're high octane. I never really paid attention to it. I always knew it, but they're freaking hype, man, making this album, dude. I know it's studio and all that, but it sounds good as hell. Murder in High Heels. I always liked it. I love the beat. I love the leads. The leads just stand out to me on this album, except for one song they don't have really a lead in, but the ones that do, it's like, here I am, man, and it really soars, and I love that. But Murder in High Heels is a good tune. It's just a little lackluster, of course, with lyrics, you know, just like Lonely as the Hunter, you know, but the musicianship was there. I will say that. So that's my number 7.
All right, number 7 for me. I enjoy the chorus, unlike Dave. Yeah, there's repetition. But to me, the chorus is what makes this kind of a jam for me, and that is While the City Sleeps.
Okay, with C+.
Yeah.
Last albums we did, there was Ease.
All right. Well, that is my number 6 song, While the City Sleeps. I think this is a bit of a sleeper for Gene anyway. As Dave said.
That's funny.
What do you
While
mean?
the City Sleeps, it's a bit of a sleeper.
Bit of a sleeper for a song for Gene on this album. Like it's you know, there is another one of his. I think I've got one left for him. But that's probably the one that gets the most grief. But that one was that one's always been playlist for me, even with some of the lyrics that people seem to hate. But this one is While the City Sleeps isn't bad. It's one of his better songs on here. Yeah, I don't mind the chorus. I mean, now we're starting to get into the much better songs on the album. So While the City Sleeps made it to 6.
You mean the Paul songs?
Yes.
Louis.
All right. This is going to be the song where I'm going to get the pink slip email.
Don't you
Rob
dare say
Oh,
it.
you're gonna
Don't you
say-
dare say it.
Jesus
Saying
Christ, how do you keep
your
doing
services
it
are
like
no
that?
longer required.
Louis.
Don't do it, Louis.
I
Don't
have
do it.
to, because there's 5 songs I happen to think are a whole
Don't
lot
do it,
better,
Louis.
a lot more fun to listen to. And you guys, you can have your opinions, wrong as they are, but 5 songs are better than Heaven's on Fire.
For fuck's sake.
Could you, shut up?
I already have.
What you've just said is one of the most insanely idiotic.
Yeah,
All right.
clearly, for all those Warning fans that say Louis is the brains, they don't watch our Kiss content because they would soon see
That goes
that.
through my head every time I see the praise
Absolute
from the
idiot.
Warning fans. I'm thinking, oh, Louis knows his music. I'm like, no, he fucking don't. Come watch the rest of our shows.
Man.
All right, Dave.
How come I have to
Easy to
keep
follow
following
that
that?
one. You could pick
Well-
literally anything on here and not be that bad of a pick for number 5 or 6.
Well, I'm going to pick.
whatever.
I am going to pick a Paul Stanley song. So
Well, yeah.
I'm going to actually take the heat off Gene because he could have been 4 in a row. But I've got Get All You Can Take at number 6. It's a good song. I'd say it's, a high C double plus. I like Paul's high register on this. It's not in a B, but you know. But I think this is for me. The rest of these songs, I'm quite happy to listen to anytime. So
Okay, Scotty.
Number 6 for me is While the City Sleeps. And this one rose probably quite a few spots from the ashes for me, man. I really enjoyed this song, like the whole album this time. Like I said, I don't know what it is, what mood you're in. I don't understand it, but I've been listening to it for days. So I know I ain't been in the same mood for days. And the heat down here is relentless. I mean, it is fucking relentless, man. But While the City Sleeps is not bad. And here we go with a damn solo, bro. Man, and yeah, the chorus don't bother me on this. It would be more the verses, but they don't bother me quite as bad as they used to. Good song, man. One of Gene's better songs. Number 6.
All right, number 6 for me is a song I've always been on the fence with. Some days I like it, some days I don't. This time I really did, and that's Under the Gun. And I get the tempo issue that some may have with it, but Paul's voice just fucking works for this. I mean, it's just the way he holds out every last word of the verse, hit the highway. I mean, it's just something about this song just said kick ass instead of annoying for me today. So I said, this is just kind of, everything just got a little better. I'm not saying it's a great album. I'm saying everything got a little bit better than I used to think it was.
is being on the fence the same as taking it both ways, or
David?
just asking? People are interested.
All right. At number 5, that's where I have Get All You Can Take. It's a decent tune. I'm there with Dave. It's probably a C plus. The higher register for Paul doesn't bother me on this. I mean, I happen to like his high register, even his falsetto stuff. So that's not an issue for me. There's another great solo in this one. But for me, it is the weakest of the Paul songs on here, and that's why it comes in at number 5. Lewis?
Loser.
You're muted, Louis.
No, that's it. You only get one go. You don't get to do again. Next, me. Okay, so my number 5 is.
Okay, number 5. For me, a song that I personally enjoy more than Heaven's on Fire, Burn Bitch Burn. I love the energy of the song, and that's all how it goes.
I'm not going to give you shit because Burn Bitch Burn deserves all the love it gets.
Yeah, it does.
Well, you have to ring the bell because I agree with Louis. So I have Burn Bitch Burn. I mean, and it goes to number 5 because of the poetry that is Gene's lyrics.
Yes.
I mean, log in your fire, like, fucking hell. That's just, it's beautiful. I actually shed a tear when I hear him say it. It's like, oh my God, that is just, that's love.
Shakespeare wishes he would have written that line.
It is a love song that like no other.
Yes.
I could see Powell singing this with emotion.
Scotty.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, ring the bell again because Burn Bitch Burn, man, the song that I hated forever. This was always last. It never made it to 8 for years. Literally. Rob, probably the most responsible for bringing this to my attention. The last time we've done this, and I paid more attention to the song, and it's actually not bad at all. It is a rocking tune. Gene sings it extremely well. The chorus is fantastic, man.
Yes.
I mean, literally, it is, man. I've so degraded this song for so many years, man, like everybody else. And it is number 5 now for me. Holy shit. Maybe in another 20 or 30 years, if I'm still alive, it might make it up to 3. Who knows? But anyway, Burn Bitch Burn is not a bad tune, people. Listen to it. Turn it up. Just listen to it. That's it, man.
Yep. Darren, what'd you have for number 5?
Get All You Can Take.
Then I match with Darren. I really have always liked this song. I think it's the angry Paul that comes out once in a while. It's just unfortunate that there's so much more melodic chorus stuff that I like better coming up. But this could have been number 1 or 2 on most non-makeup Kiss albums for me. So there we go.
All right. Number 4, some of you have talked about this recently, and that is Burn Bitch Burn, the last of the Gene songs for me to cover. This is the darker sounding rocker from Gene that has that breakneck solo in it. It is a rocker. Yeah, it, like I said earlier, it may have some questionable lyrics, but who gives a fuck? There's a lot of songs that I enjoy that have some questionable lyrics, and I don't.
It's not questionable. It's poetry.
No, it's not really, but it's
in a thousand years. You look at a book.
You got to at least say this: it's an incredibly articulate and clever euphemism for sex.
Sure. No, yeah, I'm not. I mean, it sure beats some of the shit that Axl Rose comes up with, or what song was it? The fucking Poison, Razzmatazz, and whatever he was rhyming together that didn't make any fucking sense. So,
number 1 bad boy.
What's that, Scotty?
Number 1 bad boy.
Yeah, that's the one. So no, like I said, I like it. It made it to number 4, and it wasn't because the rest of the songs were all that bad. It earned number 4 on its own merit. So Burn Bitch Burn. That's where it goes.
Louie.
Number 4. I love the opening because it's comfortable and simple. She's a murderer in high heels.
That could have been on Queen of the Murder Scene.
Almost.
And that's better than Heaven's on Fire.
Yeah, it is.
Go ahead, Dave.
It just felt more comfortable to my soul.
This next one for Louis should be called "She's Facing the Gun." So number 4 for me is Under the Gun. I love the way Paul sings this. I can see you wouldn't want to sing like this for long periods of time because it would absolutely rip your throat out. But I think it's got great pace, great energy, and yeah, it's a great song. I'll give it a B-.
And he did a really good job with it on that Animalize Uncensored.
Well, I'm sorry. Which one did you have, Dave? I'm sorry, my wife was talking to me.
Under the Gun.
Gotcha. All right.
Scotty.
And by the way, Burn Bitch Burn is my favorite Gene song on here now. I meant to say that. Yeah,
Me too.
it made that because I'm done with Gene right now. So, well, period. But anyway, Thrills in the Night, number 4. I've grown, I guess, a little bit. I've never hated this song, but I've kind of never really paid it much attention over time. It's a great song, man. I don't care if it's about a streetwalker. It's a great song, man.
So was Strutter.
Yes, exactly. And look, the solo just rips your face off in the song, man. These solos really grabbed me this time, man, more than anything. Just the pure sound and power of the solos were awesome, man. But Thrills in the Night, man, it's always been a good song. And this was one they really pulled off good live. It sounded damn near just like the album. What's that prick saying? That is one sorry ass bastard right there.
Who is he?
Yes, he is.
I
He
said
thinks
who?
he knows. He thinks he knows everything. And Kerry King, ain't that who he is?
Yeah, but what band is he from?
Fucking Slayer. They
Oh,
suck, bro.
He's got a
I
cool
ain't
looking
never
guitar.
liked him. He thinks he knows every damn thing, man. I can't stand that prick.
Yeah, but the Kerry King guitar is pretty awesome. I have a copy.
Darren, are you froze?
Looks like it. Can you hear me?
I can hear
I
you.
can see your head.
Yeah.
I see the moon.
You look
You
like
got
Dan
a good
Aykroyd from
clean
Coneheads.
shave on that bad boy.
There
That's
you go.
something I
There
need
you
to do. I'm getting rough, getting lazy. I ain't shaved mine yet.
I'm gonna blame it on her. She joined me. So
Okay. All right, number
Go.
number 4 for me is the aforementioned Burn, Bitch, Burn. I've never understood the hatred. It always just made me just confused on why Kiss fans, of all fans, had a problem with a sexually, cliched lyric when that's all they've had for fucking 50 years. That's all that was ever done in hard rock in the 70s. AC/DC comes to mind, which Scott, brought to my attention when we did the AC/DC albums, how much their lyrics were clever little things like that. The entire hair metal movement was based on sexual innuendos. It seemed to be just a cop out for people to not listen to the song. Like I told Scott, just listen. That fucking chorus, the harmony is fucking amazing. The killer guitar riff, the solo, everything. You're going to let one line ruin an entire song? I don't think so, man. I love this song. I always have.
I think a lot of it's got to do with coming off of Creatures of the Night and Lick It Up, and Gene being absent, wanting to do other things, and getting a slacker version of him. I think a lot of the hate come from that. I know it did from me.
Okay.
And just kind of stereotyping him altogether on this album. But
this is one of the most harmonized choruses Kiss has ever done. I mean, it's amazing. Yeah.
Almost Beatles.
What?
Almost like the Beatles.
Okay, Darren.
Number 3, Thrills in the Night. Great tune with a great solo. I guess I've heard that this song has gotten some grief, and I'm not sure why. Am I wrong that this song has?
I've never heard anybody diss it.
All right.
Except for Louis.
Yeah, except Louis.
Yeah, maybe that was it. But no, I think this was one of the singles, though, right?
Yep.
All right. I've always enjoyed it, so I don't know what Lewis's issue is. I mean, maybe it's because he sits on his heart all day. I don't know. I don't know exactly what it is. But Thrills in the Night was my number 3.
Louis.
All right. I'm probably the biggest fan of this song in the Kiss world, and it's a Gene song. And I think this should have been the song to close the album out to have a better lasting impression. And I love the lyrics, go for the throat because you paid your debt and all that stuff. Burn your bridge, all the other stuff that goes with it. While the City Sleeps is a very strong, powerful, vengeful type song. That's probably why I like it so much. If you're talking about getting venge, it's like, like when I got to quit my job, without even giving them any notice because they were pissing me off because I had my finances set up, to live a normal life without having to go to an obligatory place of employment. So While the City Sleeps kind of mirrors that for me. And plus, it sounds really cool.
Yeah, it does. Dave.
Number 3 for me used to be my number 2. Has dropped one spot, but is definitely still a B+ song. Unfortunately, at my age, the only thrill in the night I get is that urgent need to do a pee.
Yes.
And the race to get to the toilet. That's my biggest thrill these days. But yeah,
a little public service announcement for those of us who are, of the mature age. If you find a toilet in a dream, don't use it.
Use it. Yeah.
Wake up.
It's not the wet dream you want.
Yeah.
What is it?
Rob's had a bad bladder for years.
I got a situation worse than that. If you go to sleep with your balls tucked between your thighs and your legs are close together, you'll have a dream that somebody kicked you in the balls and it hurts like hell. Like it felt so fucking real.
Oh my God!
You gotta, readjust.
I thought maybe your prostate was the size of a soccer ball.
Well, I haven't touched down in the toilet water yet, but I can tell that age is finally approaching because while I was doing a podcast just about a month ago with you guys, I didn't say anything. I moved to readjust myself on the seat and I rolled over.
Sat in your nuts.
Yeah, I rolled over a testicle. That hurt so fucking bad, but I was laughing inside because I'm like, God damn, I've got old man balls now.
Yeah.
Sagging.
You soon realise that your balls are bigger than your dick. I've got into my car quite a few times at work and sat in my own nuts.
I bet you all didn't expect to hear this when you tuned into Tunes Brothers.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
maybe we'll get some sponsors for that one, huh?
Yeah. All right, Scotty.
Okay. What was it Jack Nicholson said? Never waste a hard on, never trust a fart. Yeah, this is correct. All right. But anyway, number 3, and this is the biggest jumper on the album for me, and it is absolutely fantastic, dude. This is a new perfect song on this album for me. It's Get All You Can Take. This is a rocker, bro, and he sings it fantastic.
Yeah.
Literally, man, I didn't realize how good he done on this album. This is the song I listen to the most. And our off period here. I would hit, repeat. This has got one hell of a beat to it, man. And the way he stretches it out, like Rob said, it is fucking fire, dude. This would have been my single besides Thrills in the Night. If it was my choice, that's a jammer, man. I love it now. It's one of my favorite new song on the album.
Yep.
At number 3, it used to be way back 8, 7. So, yeah, good song, man.
All right, number 3 for me. This has always been in the top 5, and that is Thrills in the Night. Epic power from Paul in this great melodic chorus. And I'll never forget. There's 2 videos for this, right? There was at the time. MTV had theirs, which was just splicing a bunch of clips from their own Animalize concert. But I saw one and had it recorded on VHS when I was a kid from Night Flight, which was a music program on USA Network. And that had live clips from the Animalize tour, but different outfits, different venue. The color of the camera lighting was significantly different than the Animalize Uncensored. But there's that middle part where he's doing his breakdown and he starts kind of talking to the camera or singing or whatever. And his eyes are doing this. Every word he says, his eyes do this weird fucking thing that's almost hypnotic. And I think that video made me love the song right from the jump just because that was so fucking wild and weird. But it is a great fucking song.
You're looking deeply into another man's eyes, Rob.
Paul Stanley, absolutely.
He goes both ways.
Back in the day, I would have traded my appearance for his in fucking less than a second.
I thought you were going to say something else then.
No. Well, everybody wanted to look like, the blonde rock star. I wanted to look like Paul Stanley.
All right. Number 2, this is where I have the song I've Had Enough, Into the Fire. The shredding on this song is absolutely unbelievable. And the solo, and of course, not to mention the lyrics from Paul. This is just, and to open the album with this, that fucking riff to start this album off was phenomenal. This album definitely starts off better than it ends. with Murder in High Heels, but if every song on this album could have been like that, and what's at number one, even though Lewis, I think, had that one really early on in his list, this would have been a much better album in my opinion. But number two, I've had enough Into the Fire. Lewis?
Number two, this is a song I never really didn't care for too much when I first got the album, but I tell you, there's something about this song. Number one, Paul is not singing it in a high register like the other songs on this album. It's got a punch and an energy. That could have been in the opening song with that. Looking for a thrill, you get it my way. Let's hit the highway. I'll take you down. Shoot into the night. The main attraction is back in town. That's like an opening track lyric for like you waited for, I don't know the time between Animalize and Lick It Up, how much time passed, but when you're a Kiss fan and you're waiting for the next album, that's like an eternity. And to hear that song first as an opener would have been a great way to really sink people and pull people into that album very strong.
Oh, yeah.
So Under the Gun is number two for me. And I think it would, and so that's that. Then afterwards, I'm going to say something else on my next turn.
Yeah, that was such an eye opener for me for a song that I always give her, take it or leave it. Man, it was so awesome this time. Yeah. Dave.
Well, I think Darren and I are going to match the 1 and 2 by the looks of it. But number 2, I've had enough. Into the Fire. Great opening. Mirror everything Darren says. Paul just does such a great job. It definitely is, as I said, great way to start an album. If it followed suit, as Darren said, with the next one coming up as well, this would have been a Kiss classic. But, Gene had to get involved and spoil the party.
Scotty, number 2.
Number 2, and it's always been number 2. Well, not always. When it's first come out, it was most definitely number 1. And it's fantastic. I'm not crazy about this song live, but in the studio, they do this phenomenal, and it is Heaven's on Fire. And the video's fantastic, man. Great song. I love the power you get on the studio version, man. The drums. Hall sings it phenomenally. I mean, you can't sing it any better. Just you getting the, you get all that, man, on the studio version. And it's always been a great song. I've always liked this song. I've never had anything bad. And I've always kind of thrown in, maybe if it had a little solo in it, but I like Lick It Up. It really doesn't need one. It's that good of a song. My son's favorite. I think this is his favorite concert too so far. But yeah, man, it's a great song, and of course, the best decision they could have made opening this album. So yeah,
Absolutely. And to put a little side note on what you said about you don't like it live, neither do I. They've never been able to even come close to replicating it. But for all those people who judge a song on live and solely on live, you better be those people who do nothing but have your earbuds in or your iPads or whatever you do to listen to music. It always better be live tracks then, right? Because I am if they play it live, great. That's a bonus. You give me quality studio tracks. I don't care how much overdubbing, overlayering, backtracking. I don't give a fuck if you had ghost musicians playing. You give me the product in as great as effort as you can for the one I'm going to listen to on a daily basis. If I go to a concert and it sounds great live, like I said, bonus. Do whatever you can in the studio to make it sound great. That's what it's there for. That's the whole goddamn reason, to have the released product for the masses sounding as perfect as possible. So yeah, they can't do this well live for whatever reason, a very simplistic song. They just, for some reason, can't do it. But on the album, yeah, amazing. And for my number 2, I am going to match Darren and Dave. I've Had Enough, Into the Fire, an amazing song, an amazing opening energy. Absolutely up there with Exciter, and probably now Get All You Can Take. There are more and more of these early 80s Paul songs that I'm starting to think keep me coming, that were ignored for all the wrong fucking reasons. And this is another one. Absolutely amazing power, energy, everything.
Yeah.
All right. So that brings us to number 1. Heaven's on Fire. And even though someone on this panel did their level best to ruin this song for me, for playing that opening over and over and over while I was trying to sleep. Jackass.
Okay. Sorry, not me.
No, not you. That was the jackass in the bottom right-hand corner.
I thought you were because I mentioned it at a low position that it upset you.
No, you're fine. To each their own, I guess. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't understand it, but I'll respect you on that one. But no, when way back in the day, as I was probably hungover and trying to sleep it off, and somebody cranks the stereo and just keeps on playing Paul's opening on that song over and over and over and over, and wouldn't fucking stop until I got off the fucking couch. But nonetheless, it is still the best song on here. It is a classic Kiss rocker. Obviously, that opening is iconic. Yeah. I mean, there's not much else you can say about it. It's just a tremendous song, and it. I guess I take everything back I said, Lewis, because I can't understand how the fuck you put it at 5, 6. Where the fuck did you put it?
I put it at 6 because 5 other songs are better.
I mean, if it was visual, I could ask, "What the hell were you doing? Looking at it with your brown eye?" But that doesn't. I mean, how do you not hear such perfection in that song? I don't get it. Anyway, that's number 1 for me. Heaven's on Fire. Lewis, tell us what god awful Gene song you picked for number 1.
The Gene songs are done. At number 1, I put first you had Creatures of the Night with a style. Then Paul reinvents the style to get Exciter. Then he finally perfects the style with I've Had Enough. It's part of a third stage idea, and that's the evolution of that style through those 3 songs. And now I'm going to say this. I know because I listened and I did a thing where I rearranged the playlist. If you start Animalize with Undergun, then followed by I've Had Enough, and then just do the songs after that, and then you swap the last 2 songs, Murder in High Heels with While the City Sleeps as the last track, you would have a much better overall experience listening to that album. It really would have made the whole album a much better listening experience, because when the album ended, you end on a high note, or a high, a good feeling that you want to go back and start the album again. So
and I think people listening to this podcast would have a much better experience if you were on mute the whole time.
I got Louis back here because too often lately I've seen bands ending a fucking album with a downer, right? And that doesn't mean it's a bad song. You got to go out on I think maybe not so much in the 70s, but in the 80s, there was a definite problem with let's throw all of our shitters on side 2 and overload side 1 with the hits. And while I understand their logic of, we'll just keep them hooked. Well, yeah, until you get to shit, and then you're just not going to hear the rest of the album. After a couple shitties, you're like, okay, it's over. Yeah. You got to keep them going through the whole thing. You got to space that shit out, and you begin and you end on a high note. Don't ever. The Warning needs to understand this. Don't ever end a show or an album with a fucking ballad. I don't care if it completes your concept album or not. They didn't end The Elder with Just a Boy. you end on a high note, for better or worse. You start on a high note, and that's in rock and roll, at least. If we're talking about any other genre, maybe that doesn't apply.
I agree.
But,
that's why I said Murder in High Heels
yeah.
was a horrible choice for a closer.
Yeah, absolutely. So good point, Louis. Dave.
So what does Van Halen do when you got 10 songs, 2 of them are good and 8 are shit?
Come out with a cassette single.
While I agree with what Louis said about I've Had Enough, I disagree about his evolution, because to me, Creatures of the Night is the best of those 3 songs anyway. So
Correct.
number 1, obviously, same as Darren, Heaven's on Fire. An absolute Kiss classic. It's got to be probably top 5 Kiss songs in the their unmasked era.
Guys, I'll let you get back to your take, but that brings up an interesting point. Me and Scott forced ourselves to go through our favorite songs by each member. You guys didn't have to do that. You have no idea how fucking excruciating it is when it comes to Paul and Gene, who got 50 years of material and have to squish it into a top 10. So yeah, go ahead, Dave.
Yeah.
Oh, we definitely have to do it then, won't we?
Yeah.
Your take might have changed too.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, as I said, it's just a great song. I think when it comes to a Kiss song, it's one of those perfect Kiss songs. It's just, so well done. How Louis could have it so low just pains me, to be honest. I sometimes think he's not really a Kiss fan.
I'm a real Kiss fan.
No, you're not.
I go for the deep cuts, not the public hits.
Yeah, deep cuts just means you bleed and die, mate.
No, deep cuts means good stuff.
You bleed and you die. Because we're not taking you to the hospital.
No, I get where Louis is coming from, but with a band like Kiss, there are so many epic songs that to not give them their due because they are well known is just not fair to Kiss. You could say that with Van Halen and bands like that have like 6 overall good songs that everybody in the world knows. But then you go to Kiss and the catalog is endless, and not just to dump on Scotty, because AC/DC falls in there with Kiss. You got some of these bands that have so many world-renowned songs, and I'm not taking anything away from Van Halen, but let's face it, a handful with David Lee Roth, a handful with Sammy Hagar. It's not like they got an extensive deep cut catalog. So I can't see punishing something like Heaven's on Fire strictly because it's overplayed or well known. So maybe Louis just doesn't care for it, then that's fine.
Yeah. Well, Louis redeemed himself because he did get the number 1 track right. I Had Enough, Into the Fire. This would been my number 1. I didn't think anything would knock it off. I tried, but there's no way. I love Heaven's on Fire, but when it comes to pure power and them double bass drums, man, and I mean literally the breakdown in this fucking song is fucking unbelievable. This is a forgotten song like Exciter, not really Creatures of the Night. That is blasphemy to me. An opener 2 on the album. I can imagine this would be insanely hard to play and try to pull off.
Yeah.
I do understand that.
They've done it.
Damn, man, this song it's heavier than Exciter.
My
It's
Kiss
heavy.
Alive 5 has the I've Had Enough, but Paul could not get the register up high enough, so Bruce did it on lead guitar for the high part singing, and they made the song work.
Oh, okay. Okay. But it's just fantastic, man. It's a song that could have been, in my opinion. And I take that back. I love Get All You Can Take. But this would have definitely been my second single without a question. Hard Rocking Kiss is still here, bro. Bam. That would have punched him in the face, bro. I love it. Fantastic. Rob.
And I agree with the double D's, Darren and Dave, with Heavens on Fire. It's not even close. It's Heavens on Fire. And then the rest of the album, even though I love a lot of the rest of the album, it's light years further than the other songs on this album, as great as some of them are. Epic harmony on the chorus, the deepness of the simplistic solo thing, like Lick It Up, where it's just kind of a few, picked out chords. Of course, the intro, which is absolutely unmatchable and unduplicatable, as Paul has tried to do it many, many times over the years, long before his voice was shot, and he still couldn't. And that's because it wasn't planned. It was a happy accident. It was warming up his vocals in the studio while recording the album. They kept it, whatever. Just an amazing song, amazing songwriting. And I will say this, that video, most of the time you go back and you look at an 80s rock video now and you're thinking, Jesus fucking Christ, you kind of hide your head in shame and cringe. Not that one, man. They look good. They're not overly decked out in rouge and eyeliner and bullshit. They're wearing just normal, street clothes, like animal print street clothes. All their hair's normal. It's not bouffant like Gene Simmons, B. Arthur, Beehive. Everything about this video and this song is epic. And to back up after your massive classic Kiss, instant classic Kiss, no matter how much Paul wants to try to make something on Sonic Boom or Monster an instant classic, no chance. Lick It Up was an instant classic, and then you follow it up with the next fucking album and put out Heavens on Fire. Are you fucking kidding me? This band could do no fucking wrong for a string of years there in the 80s, and the classic Kiss fans shit all over it in ignorance, as far as I'm concerned. Shit all over it because two members weren't there, because the makeup was gone. They never fucking paid attention to the music. Heavens on Fire.
Well, I say this. Number one, you've mentioned in the past in multiple videos how much you like the song, so I knew it was going to be your number one pick for this album. And also the fact that you played it as the opener for the video was a big fucking hint. It's going to be your number one for the album.
Oh,
you
yeah.
to see to do that. But I'm not saying it's a bad song and all that.
I know, Louis.
But I just, maybe it's a little overplaying in my mind, or maybe because it's too basic sounding for me. But but like I said, my switch arounds or changes happened over the course of this year, and where I place the songs, is just how it goes. But I think overall, the album is good enough that at least 5 or 6 songs could have landed at number one.
Yeah.
And like I said before, Get All You Could Take is an awesome song that if it was done, Paul not singing it so high, and the chorus was sounding like less people, I think it would have been a much better song.
Yeah, and we bust your balls, Louis, but we have nothing but respect for your opinions. When I talking about classic Kiss fans, I'm talking about these fucking original 4 makeup only fucking 4, and they don't listen to anything else, and they're missing so much that I guess it only hurts them. So why do I care?
Bruce said that in the interview, saying they only know like whatever part of Kiss bandwagon they jumped onto, and they don't listen to the other stuff. You're not really a Kiss fan.
Yeah.
Because no matter where
they listen to it,
you got to listen to all of it to get the whole big picture.
You can't call yourself a diehard fan of anything if you haven't experienced at least once the whole catalog. If you're let's take it into a different term, a Walking Dead fan, but you only like up until the Atlanta gang for the most part was dead and they started moving on with other characters, and you never watched that, well, then you're not a diehard Walking Dead fan. You're a diehard season 1 through 5 fan. I mean, same with Kiss. You can't call yourself a diehard Kiss fan if you have nothing but ignorance towards the bulk of their career. I mean, let's face it. You had 8 years with the original 4 in makeup. You had 20 plus with other members and no makeup. I mean, whatever. I'm not saying a diehard makeup guy or Ace or Peter guy has to enjoy the 80s, but you have to at least give it a chance.
When we do Asylum, I already know your number one pick.
Well, yeah.
I already know my number one pick.
But my number one pick, I haven't decided yet, but I know that one you guys are going to pick ain't going to be my number one pick.
Oh, don't cry, Louis.
I'm telling you, don't cry.
So there we got Animalize, and at least for me and Scott, this turned out to be a lot better than we remembered. For Derek, it was kind of in the middle. For Dave and Louie, kind of the same thing. And that's the way it goes. That's why we like brushing up on this stuff, because you never know when your tastes change, unbeknownst to yourself. So what do we got coming up next, David?
Well, so we'll obviously we've got the Paul Stanley Live to Win and Ace Frehley's Trouble Walking. We've also got a decision to make on an album ranking.
What?
So an album ranking. We've got to do an album ranking of some kind.
Yes.
So it'll either be Dio's Holy Diver
Okay.
or Iron Maiden's The Number of the Beast.
Boy, that's a double dose of diarrhea right there. We should do an album, so I will let you guys decide which one of those two absolute, toilet
Have
paper
you listened to
in
them?
CD form. No, but I know both singers. That's all I need to know.
You might be surprised.
I hope so.
Yep.
I hope.
It was.
But we'll make a decision on that.
And what was the other one?
Number of the Beast.
Iron
Maiden.
It's probably at least two songs in there that you'll like.
Well, there's three of you. There's three of you that. Well, I don't know about Dave, but Louie and Scott, I know this stuff doesn't turn you off. So you guys go ahead and choose which one we do.
We've done a Maiden. Let's do a Dio.
Okay. Holy Diver, you say?
Yep. You familiar with that one, Louis?
Yeah, I know some. I don't know very much about Number of the Beast. At least I mean, I might know the songs, but I don't know the album, because I know a lot of Maiden songs. I just don't know what songs those albums have. But Holy Diver, I used to have a cassette, and I used to like a lot of it, so that'll be pretty cool to figure out how to rank the songs.
Is that the one where the cover has like the priest drowning in water? Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, is
It
next
is a good
going
album,
to be the Live to Win Ace Frehley battle?
I would think so, yes.
Or Asylum?
No, I think we'll do Live to Win and Ace Frehley next.
Okay.
After Holy Diver.
No, we'll do the Ace Frehley Paul Stanley.
Oh, and
you have some days to do Holy Diver. I don't want to have to. Don't digest it all in 24 hours, Rob. I don't want to make you feel sick or anything. So
What day do you want to do the Paul Ace battle?
small nibbles.
Well, okay. Scott and Louie were talking at the same time. Scott, you first.
Trouble Walking and Live to Win.
Yes.
Yep.
Louie?
And be fair.
What? Okay, so Live to Win will be before Asylum, right? I mean, the battle between Ace and Paul will be before Asylum?
Yes.
Okay, and what day do you want to do that battle?
Darren, I know your headache and your family life and everything. What do you want to do the battle? That'll be in the next video.
Tuesday
night will be Trouble Walking versus Live to Win. Okay.
And some homework for everyone, which is going to happen. Won't happen straight away, but your top 10 favorite albums of all time.
Oh, jeez.
Any genre, just the top 10, not what the world thinks, what album sales think, just the ones you would want to listen to the most on any given day.
And you can have a few honorable mentions as well. So
yeah.
Wow.
Be interesting to see how we all differ.
Be fucking hard.
Damn.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right. Well, there we got our work cut out for us. So the next one we are shooting for is what day is it today?
Sunday.
Okay, so we're hoping for Tuesday for Trouble Walking versus Live to Win. And until next time, thanks for watching.
Brothers, they sing, they scream.